coming out of UFC 320, where Alex Pereira brutally demolished Magomed Ankalaev, embarrassing him in what would have been his first title defense should he have been able to get it done. But Alex Pereira walks out there like prime Michael Jordan in the playoffs. Magomed Ankalaev is like one of the teammates Jordan had, where he said, or not teammates, but his adversary, who said, "Hey, great game, Mike," after they win the first game of the playoffs. Michael Jordan comes back with a vengeance. And that's exactly how Alex Pereira looked in this fight, guys. He walked out there like Magomed Ankalaev owed him money, kicked the shit out of his legs, lands a picture-perfect right hook to get Magomed to shoot the takedown, and then Alex just does what Alex does when he gets him on the ground. I want to give a lot of props to Alex. This video, guys, really is more so for the haters of Alex and the ones that are creating false narratives to somehow cope with the loss that their man, Magomed, endured. Now, what I'm going to go through in this video is just breaking down, obviously, and debunking some of these cope sessions that people are having. One major one that I've seen is Alex landed a lucky shot. We're going to break down why that's not true. And then I'm also going to break down why this is not an early stoppage. So if you guys could please do me a favor, give this video a like, comment your thoughts on this situation. Would love to hear from you guys. Let's go ahead and dive into the first item at hand, which is Alex Pereira landed a lucky shot. Okay, so guys, as MMA fans, I get sometimes the whole idea of this, so-and-so landed a lucky shot. It was used against Leon when he fought Kamaru Usman. People were saying shit about that with Diego Lopez landing a spinning elbow KO on Gene Silva. The thing is, guys, I think myself and all you others who don't fight, right, who just watch the sport, and I include myself there, the only type of fighting I do is beating the hell out of my century Bob in the backyard. That's all I do. But we all need to realize that while we work normal jobs, make YouTube videos, do things that professional fighters don't do, what we need to realize is these men and women who are fighting in the UFC, they do this shit for a living. While I'm doing my day job, working a full-time job, doing the shit that I do, they're at the gym practicing how to use their tools to hurt and knock out and finish their opposition. So right off the bat, to even consider it luck, that's like saying when I send an email to somebody at work that I'm lucky that I got that email out. I can't even fathom how you could consider it lucky for, sorry guys, I was just staring at the fucking microphone, not the camera. But anyways, I don't know how you can see this as a lucky shot from Alex Pereira. And what I'm going to add there too, right? I don't fight. I've already said that, but I am about the same. I'm the same height as Alex. I'm not even close to the same size as Alex. Obviously, I'm way thinner. He would smoke me like I was 5 Ankalaevs, basically, just consecutively. Anyways, what I'm getting at with this is I'm a right-handed person. If I were to get in a fight, I would be an orthodox, right? To throw a right hook from the orthodox stance, at least for me, is the easiest punch, or not the easiest punch, but it is the one punch where I feel like I can generate the most power with my body weight, in my opinion. I think if you throw an overhand, you can definitely get a lot of power from that as well. But what I want to call out is that throwing the right hook from orthodox stance as a right-handed person is probably the easiest shot for someone like myself to land powerfully with little to no technique. Now you mix technique in there, is all she wrote. And then also you mix in the Alex Poatan Pereira genetics in there, and it is really all she wrote. So regardless, for anyone online saying Alex Pereira landing a right hook is lucky, I think that you need to get a subscription to BetterHelp because I don't know where all of you who are hiding under these rocks live. BetterHelp is supposed to be helpful for everybody that lives in any state or maybe country. I don't know that for sure. If you go watch other YouTube channels who have sponsors, you can very well get a discount in addition to that. So what I would recommend is you go get a subscription to BetterHelp, see if you can work with some of their professionals on understanding why you can't seem to compute that a basic strike from an elite striker is not a lucky situation. That's like saying Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass Saturday. He's goddamn lucky he made that fucking touchdown pass. Like, the dude does this shit in his sleep. So let's just stop that right there. This is not a lucky shot. This is a skilled and elite fighter landing one of his stronger punches, which in his career, Alex Pereira's right hook has never, I mean, at least from what I've seen, has never been something that has been highly touted from him, right? It's the lead hook he throws. But he went and he smashed that right hand on Magomed's face and dropped his ass. He didn't even drop him, really. Like, Magomed just shot for the crotch, right? And then, we saw what happened. But this is not a lucky shot. This is not a spinning heel kick that just by the grace of God, the heel kissed the mouth of Magomed and dropped him, right? This is not a spinning elbow that happened at the very last second of a fight. This is like 3 minutes or 3.5 minutes remaining of the first round. Alex walks this dude down after kicking his damn leg like he owes him money and lands a clean right hook as Magomed tries to escape, which Alex kicked him from his normal southpaw stance into orthodox, which if you've seen Magomed Ankalaev fight in orthodox, he does not do a good job in orthodox. Let's go use the Jan Blachowicz example. When Jan Blachowicz was kicking his leg to a point where Magomed couldn't stand in southpaw, had to go orthodox, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know really how to escape or use feints. He was getting caught then. And that's when he actually ended up diving and taking Jan Blachowicz down. So what happened here is a textbook, Alex Pereira, I'm going to kick your leg as hard as I can. And it sent Magomed into orthodox, which sent him really packing, if you think about it. He was at that point back against the cage, nowhere to go, tries to escape the only way he knows how. And he obviously is not going to want to escape towards the lead hand of Pereira, who has a killer lead hook. So what happens? Pereira makes him pay with the right hand. There's nothing lucky about this. So I don't want to see that shit. And the people that are saying it, it's probably just rage bait. But regardless, I hope you guys share this with those types of people, because it's absolutely ridiculous to me to think that you could be a fan of a combat sport and then in the same breath say, you threw a basic punch. Guys, when they do punches in boxing, the 1 is the jab. The 2 is the right hand, if you're orthodox, right? The lead hook is 3. The rear hook is 4. Like, it's the basics. We're not even talking like the 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a basic punch that he threw, and he connected beautifully. So there we are with that. We're going to end it there. No more of this lucky shot narrative. It's absolutely appalling to see people who are fans of the sport say that. And now on to my favorite part, which is I want to end the early stoppage narrative entirely, because this is fucking hilarious to see from people online. And look, I can sit here and go frame by frame with you guys, showing you every single strike Pereira landed, showing you that, yes, while Magomed had his guard up, blocked a lot of the shots, he didn't block everything. And also, like maybe we just need to mention the fact that even if you're blocking shots on the ground, but you're laying there doing nothing to advance, you're doing nothing to get out of this position, you're just eating the shots. That is what leads to stoppages in MMA, if you haven't noticed. I mean, maybe you guys haven't watched this sport for the last 3 years, 5 years. Maybe you just started watching this past Saturday, and then that would actually explain things. But you can't lay on the ground covering up and not move and just be getting hit with 12 to 6 elbows and think a ref isn't going to stop the fight. Okay. So I don't know where that narrative even comes from, but instead of breaking it down that way and showing you guys every single strike that landed on Magomed's either ribs, his hands that were on his head, I'm not even going to do that. the way that I'll explain to you guys this isn't an early stoppage is we're going to look at the clip where Alex hits him with his, he hits him like this. Alex Pereira, after brutally embarrassing, and I am channeling my MMA Joey there because he likes to always say that. And I respect MMA Joey. I watch his content. Okay. And he always does that. He brutally embarrasses, right? So in my opinion, Magomed got absolutely embarrassed in this fight. Okay. And Alex Pereira, not only after landing about 12 to 6 elbows, what does Alex Pereira do? He stands up right above Magomed and he hits him with the Jamal Hill. And I know this is like a meme from somewhere else. Hits it 3 times, right? Magomed is staring at him while this happens like this. Utter shock, staring at him. And what I want you guys to watch in this clip is Magomed's going to stand up. And when Magomed stands up, not only the look on the guy's face, and I just want you to tell me let's just examine. Everybody loves to be a body language expert and, look at shit like that. So he stands up while Alex is taunting him and he looks at the ref and he looks like he's lost. Like if you asked him where he's at, he might say the desert. It wouldn't be that wrong. But regardless, Magomed Ankalaev's face and his posture, everything in his body language when he stands up after this fight, after Alex is over him, taunting him, he isn't angry. He isn't trying to keep fighting. This dude is basically standing up to say, like, the fight's over, right? Like, this is done. I'm not going to get hit anymore. That is what I took away watching how he reacted. Now, someone who's ready to fight and it was an early stoppage is going to stand up and probably try to run after Alex, right? Maybe not. I mean, we've seen the zombie guys, right? That get knocked out and they're like a zombie though, and they keep running. So it's not like a very clear debate there because you could have a guy who's out cold that starts fucking just trying to grapple with the ref and shit. But in this case, guys, obviously Magomed was not knocked out cold. We saw that. But please tell me, if this is an early stoppage, do you really believe that Magomed wanted to keep fighting? Like the way that this man stood up after he's getting mocked to his face in a fucking cage, the way that he stood up, do you really think he wanted to keep fighting there? I don't. And I think that answers the question of, is this an early stoppage or is it not? The referee is in the octagon to keep him safe. And in my opinion, I don't see any argument for Magomed. I don't see Magomed, hey, well, you stopped the fight. I was ready to keep going. I don't see Magomed upset when he's looking at Pereira, making fun of him and standing up. Like what I see him do is stand up and look at the ref almost as like, we're done, right? Like, please tell me I don't have to try to fight him anymore. Because he did not want to keep fighting. This dude was done. And if you really think this was an early stoppage, I don't want to resort to calling people names. And I just feel like you need to, learn more about the sport. Maybe you need to, like I said, talk to someone at BetterHelp. Like, I don't know how to help you. I don't. This is not in my wheelhouse to teach you how to enjoy and understand objectivity in the sport. And I am an objective fan of this sport, and I'll prove it, right? I am obviously a Poatan fan. I picked Magomed Ankalaev to win this fight. So right there, I literally, and I'm not just like some random guy that's just making picks or betting, right? I actually have a YouTube channel where I actually post my picks and where it's all documented. So for someone like me who's trying to do the best I can with my picks, you would think that I'd be rooting for Magomed. Now, I wasn't. I can separate the two. I can be a fan of a guy but pick another guy logically, but still want the other guy to win. And that's exactly what happened in this case. But to sit there and completely abandon the logic that goes behind this sport because it's a guy you like is just asinine to me. Like, if that was Alex Pereira on the ground getting connected on, for a fucking fact, you would have said it was a good stoppage. Then this is a message to everyone who's saying it was early stoppage. You would not call that an early stoppage if it was the opposite side. And that's the problem. That is the bias. So right there, any of you who are saying that, you're clearly biased towards that person, in my opinion, right? And I say that I actually was a fan of Israel Adesanya when Alex Pereira fought Izzy the first time in UFC and Izzy was against the cage getting connected on. I was not someone out here going, early stoppage, blah, 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 blah. No, I said that was, they should have stopped the fight. And in that case, at least Izzy was still fucking standing. Magomed's on the ground in the fetal position he's got the tire shop guard, guys. He's just laying there like a tire, fucking waiting for the rim to be pulled out. And Pereira's fucking punching him like he's got, he's back in the tire shop, hitting the fucking tire as hard as he can. Like, to say this is an early stoppage is just, it's honestly, it's hilarious. I know it's probably rage baiting, but I have to, as a fan of the sport, be objective. And in addition to that objectivity, go look at my channel when right before they fought, you had a lot of people who are huge fans of Poatan probably, but just people that are not necessarily fans of the Muslim fighters saying Magomed's boring because he's Muslim or he's Dagestani. So what did I do as an objective fan of the sport? I made a video where I not only defended Magomed Ankalaev as not a boring fighter, but I provided all the statistics to prove it. And when we talk about statistics, that's a whole other issue. Is like Alex Pereira, guys. Let's go back to point one. Alex Pereira had 40 plus kickboxing fights where he was a multi-champion kickboxer. And I mean multi-champion because he was in several weight classes. He became a champ in Glory Kickboxing. And then he comes to the UFC and has all the success he's had in the UFC. And y'all want to sit here and say that this man who's an elite striker and an elite kickboxer who landed a right hook, landed a lucky shot. Like, guys, that is the equivalent of me saying Stephen Curry hits a three. That's a lucky shot. That was luck. Yep. Nope. Doesn't land that. Bet you doesn't make that again. Like, that's the same logic to me. So I just don't know how to help you guys, but I had to make this because not only should Alex Pereira be celebrated for his accolades and what he's been able to achieve, but he should be celebrated for the fact that he went in there with kind of everything against him. He's the older fighter. He lost the last fight pretty badly, like not badly. It was not a domination in my opinion, but he clearly lost and goes out there and just dispatches of Magomed Ankalaev in I think it was less than 2 minutes long. It took him. And you guys want to make it all about luck or injuries. And guys, the injury thing, how do we even go into that? I mean, the injury thing is just, I might have to make another video on that one. Guys, this is my take on Alex Pereira and just debunking the BS, right? I had to debunk at least the things I've seen recently regarding it being a lucky shot, regarding it being an early stoppage. I'll make a part 2 video and I'll make sure to really hammer home my feelings and my points on those other aspects. Like, especially one that you're going to see coming up. I've been seeing a lot of narratives online that people are only doing this to Magomed and hating on Magomed because he's Muslim and that there's Islamophobic people that are fans of the sport. I'm not going to say, I've already talked about this previously. I think that there are definitely fans that do feel that way. And I think that's dead wrong. You should never hate anybody for their religion, race. I mean, come on, like, we're really going to hate people for shit that in a lot of cases they have no say in. If you're born in a family that's already Muslim, you're going to hate somebody that's Muslim because they're born into that family. Same thing on the other side. If you're going to hate someone who's Christian, who was born into a Christian household, like, we're really going to hate people for that. So that's a whole other point. But I'll leave you a little cliffhanger for those videos. It's that Magomed Ankalaev is not getting hate for being a Muslim whatsoever. I have not seen one person go, fucking idiot Muslim. Like, I have not seen one person discount or discredit him as a fighter because of his religious choices, right? It's actually because he talked a bunch of shit. His ass talked a bunch of shit that his fucking mouth couldn't cash or whatever. Or his mouth talked a bunch of shit his ass couldn't cash. I don't fucking know. You guys know the saying. But he was talking so much shit on Twitter, talking shit in person. just to go out like that. And guys, that is exactly what happens when you live and die by the sword. You talk all that talk, you got to walk the walk. And that's not what happened. He couldn't walk the walk because his leg was fucked up. He got destroyed. So let's just accept that. And honestly, like they say, the first step is admitting. The next step, I don't know what it is, but the first step's admitting, right? And as a fan of Poatan, I had to be one of the first people to go out and say, hey, look, I made this video where I said Poatan's going to lose. Poatan went out there and smoked the guy I said was going to beat him. So I'm going to own it. I'm just going to say, look, I was wrong. And I'm so fucking happy that he won. I mean, you know, people might hate on you for being wrong. Sure. But I think as human beings, we all appreciate a little bit of accountability, right? When someone can just say, look, I was wrong on this one. I'm not going to make an excuse. I am simply going to say I was wrong. I'm super happy for Poatan and let it be. But no, you guys got to come out and you got to make these fake fucking things to make you, it's literally cope. It's to make you cope with this reality that this guy got completely steamrolled. So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Would love to hear from you all. Make sure you subscribe to Fite if you aren't already, and comment your thoughts below. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say. See you in the next one.